Hey, what's up guys? I'm Rob Richards. I'm back here at Mission Fitness Center, fantastic gym in Alhambra, California, and continuing with our Beast training series. The focus of today's video is all about the forearms. I'll be breaking down 3 superset exercises to perform back to back. And as always, you can check out the full article, all of the video, images, and full text over at beastsports.com. But first, let's kick things off with a stretch and mobility warm-up for the forearms before starting our first main workout. I'll see you over there. All right, so the focus of this stretch and mobility is really to mobilize both the wrist and elbow joints, and also to get some blood and nutrients and oxygen into this region of the lower arm. So a number of these mobility movements really rely around pull-up bands or resistance bands, a trigger ball or massage ball, and some additional weight. We've got a smash ball down there. You could use a medicine ball, even a kettlebell. So the first of these movements is really like a self-myofascial release. If you've been on the floor using the foam roller, it's a similar approach, except for the forearms, it's not that easy to be down on the floor. So I find a barbell positioned at about chest height, and as we roll the forearm across the bar, we're rotating it with our free hand, forcing as much pressure downwards as we feel comfortable until you get to a sticking spot. You basically want to just hover around there, put some extra pressure down, mobilize the arm, and keep rolling through. 90 seconds on each arm. Focus on deep breathing, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. From there, we kind of flip this around, come down onto the bench using the massage ball to apply pressure, and then the smash ball on top as added resistance. This is a really focused, great movement that allows us to move our arm over that ball, and then using the smash ball to apply as much or as little pressure as we want downwards, so that we can really get that ball into some of the harder reach areas of the forearm. We're gonna end by putting our hand down onto that trigger ball and just opening out the muscles in the hand, and to get that wrist a little bit more flexible, same as using the resistance bands. The goal is to plant the hand down. We have banded distraction, so the band is actually applying an external force, pulling our forearm or our elbow towards that point of where the band is wrapped around. And as we plant that wrist down, it's a really good stretch at the wrist. And if you think about it, a lot of the forearm exercises that we do all involve the wrists supinating or pronating. So it's important that we spend some time and focus really mobilizing and opening up the wrist and also the elbow, so that when we are performing the movements, the resistance exercises, we're all unstuck, unglued, nice, free and mobile to be able to perform the exercise in the most efficient way. And then one of the other movements that I find really beneficial here is sort of a reverse hand, so palms down first, fingers pointing back towards you, push up, except we're keeping our arms fixed. Really helps open it up again. So spend 5, 6, 7 minutes here on your stretching and mobility. But first, go get some pre-workout in, let's get our energy levels up, and then we can start on our first working set. Two killer exercises to start off our superset. First one being a seated barbell wrist curl. Forearms either have parallel on the bench, which as you can see in this exercise, or you may want to actually have them on your actual thighs, wrists just off the edge of the knee. And the key to this movement is really range of motion at the wrist. As you open out that wrist, really you want that bar to roll down to the fingertips to apply a lot of force along this area here, stretching out those forearm muscles. As you curl back up, close up the fingers and really rotate the hands upwards so that you're contracting and squeezing the forearms. You're not just simply moving the bar up and down. What you're really trying to do is close that wrist as much as you can and open it as much as you can. So use a weight that will allow you to dictate that maximum range of motion without going too heavy to the point where you can't curl it up. Slow, controlled. I'm looking for 20 repetitions here. Immediately after performing this, I move over, I have an easy bar there, overhand grip, pronated, elbows in, and I'm performing a reverse curl. Now you might think this is a great bicep exercise, and it is, but I'd say the focus is really on the brachialis, this area here. So providing you keep the wrists fixed and they're not cocked down, as you lift up, you're really using this large forearm muscle here to perform much of that work. Full range of motion, up as high as you can, resist the weight from falling back down, and try and build up 15, 20 repetitions. Typically, I keep the same weight. With forearms, I'm not trying to progressively increase the weight up. What I'd rather do is hit higher volume and perform exercises back to back, or even as a circuit, so I can keep the intensity high on the muscle without using too much weight where I'm unable to perform that movement. So 3 sets back and forth here. This is our first working superset. Now let's move on, have a look at our second of our 3 forearm superset exercises. There may be a small muscle group in respect to some of the larger groups on our body, chest, legs, back. What a pump we get from working them intensely, the forearms. You can see from these 2 movements here, I'm not using a whole lot of weight. In fact, the dumbbell, just 15 pounds, is enough to really meet exhaustion and muscle failure around that 15th, 16th rep. And I'm performing this one seated on a preacher bench, resting my forearm with a nice bend in my arm. I can perform standing or even seated with both forearms resting on my knees again. The goal here, just like with that reverse barbell curl, is to open the wrist as much as possible and allow enough flexion there to really stretch out that forearm so that I've got that full range of motion to work that muscle through. 12, 15 pounds is about the upper limit for me. And then the next movement that we immediately move on to after, there's a few different options here. I like to use just a 25-pound plate. I'm holding it in front and again focusing on extending and flexing at the wrists. It's a small movement, but one that really you do feel in the forearm. All right, we're 2 supersets into our workout. That means we've got 1 more left. Let's go have a look at that one and finish off today's forearm circuit. All right, so what do we have here, these final 2 movements? Well, both of them mimic movements that we've done throughout this workout. The first of our superset here was the single arm reverse cable curl. Very similar movement to what we did with the easy bar with both arms. The benefit of this, performing it as a unilateral exercise, allows us to rotate a little more, bring that elbow around as if doing a crossbody hammer curl. So with this one, I find the emphasis of where it's focusing on the forearm shifted as opposed to keeping my arms at the side. So try both. You might find that the cable one works better for you, or like with me, both you want to add into your routine. 20 repetitions on there on each arm. Immediately then, we're coming back over to the same barbell that we performed again with that first movement with the seated wrist curls, except this one, I'm performing straight arm behind. So if you think about training calves as well, calves work as both a straight leg and a bent knee. Same with forearm. You're going to work the forearm differently with the elbow bent than if the arm's straight. So give both of these a try. Personally, I can lift more weight on the behind the back curls. However, I get a better pump and more feeling in that forearm from the first version where I'm performing seated wrist curls. Personally, I like to perform forearms either as its own workout or every now and again after a good bicep or even a back workout. So they can be trained both as a single muscle group, maybe even hit some calves and abdominals in there as well, or add them on as a secondary workout to a larger muscle group such as arms or back. All right, so there we have it. That is the end of today's workout and also the last video in this training series of 2018. So if you want to find out more about this workout or any of the other training videos in this training series, Head over to bsports.com. You'll find all of the workouts, videos, and images there relating to all of the exercises. And I'll see you in 2019. Let's get set for a great year. Plenty of challenges, plenty of opportunities, and plenty more room to grow. Until then, Happy New Year. Cheers. I'll see you in the new year. Take care.